Tim Ferriss' approach to fear setting for decision-making. Are you tired of making decisions that leave you feeling stuck, paralyzed by fear? Have you ever found yourself at a crossroads, overwhelmed by the myriad choices before you? Well, today, we're diving into Tim Ferriss' approach to fear setting for decision-making, a method that can help you navigate through uncertainty and make choices that align with your goals. So, let's dive right in. Understanding the fear. You might be wondering, how do I even start to understand the fear I'm facing? For many of us, fear comes from the unknown. It's easy to feel anxious when faced with new options because we don't know what the outcome will be. But here's the thing. Fear is a natural part of the decision-making process, and it's often a signal that our current path may not be the best one. Tim Ferriss, known for his unconventional methods and fearless approach to life, has developed a system for understanding and managing fear. His journey to becoming a best-selling author, entrepreneur, and podcaster was filled with countless decisions that could have derailed him, but he managed to navigate them all with remarkable ease. One of the keys to his success was his ability to confront his fears head-on and set clear objectives to guide his choices. Setting clear objectives. The first step in Tim Ferriss' approach is setting clear objectives. When you're afraid, it's easy to get lost in the details and lose sight of your ultimate goal. But by focusing on what you want to achieve, you can make more informed decisions. Let's take a look at a real-life example from Tim's book, The 4-Hour Workweek. In The 4-Hour Workweek, Tim outlines a series of objectives for entrepreneurs looking to break free from traditional 9-to-5 jobs. He doesn't just say, "You need to quit your job." Instead, he sets specific goals like reducing working hours, increasing income, and gaining financial freedom. By breaking down these big objectives into smaller, manageable tasks, he makes the daunting task of starting a business seem less overwhelming. Breaking down your goals. Now you might be thinking, how do I turn my broad objectives into actionable steps? The answer lies in breaking down your goals into smaller, measurable tasks. Tim Ferriss recommends using the SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound, to ensure that your objectives are clear and achievable. For instance, if your objective is to increase your income, instead of saying, "I want to earn more money," you could set a specific target. "I aim to earn $10,000 per month from my freelance writing by the end of the year." This makes your goal tangible and gives you a clear direction. Confronting your fears. Once you've set your objectives, the next step is to confront your fears. This doesn't mean you should ignore them or pretend they don't exist. Rather, it means acknowledging them and finding ways to overcome them. Here, where Tim Ferriss' approach really shines. In one of his interviews, Tim shared a story about his early days as a writer. He was terrified of rejection and would avoid submitting his work to publishers. However, he realized that the only way to succeed was to face his fears head-on. So, he started sending out queries to publishers, even though he knew he'd likely receive rejection letters. By doing so, he built up his resilience and learned valuable lessons about perseverance. Overcoming obstacles. Tim Ferriss also emphasizes the importance of having a support system. Whether it's friends, family, or mentors, having people who believe in you and offer encouragement can make a significant difference in overcoming obstacles. During his podcast, The Tim Ferriss Show, he often features guests who share their stories of overcoming challenges, providing inspiration and practical advice. Embracing failure. One of the most critical aspects of Tim Ferriss' approach is embracing failure. Many of us are afraid of failing because we associate it with embarrassment or disappointment. However, failure is an inevitable part of the decision-making process and can actually lead to growth and learning. In one of his books, Dedicated, Tim shares his experience with a failed startup. While it was a setback, he used the lessons learned to pivot and eventually build a successful business. By framing failure as an opportunity for growth, you can transform it from a paralyzing force into a stepping stone towards achieving your goals. So, how can you apply Tim Ferriss' approach to fear setting for decision-making in your own life? First, set clear objectives that align with your long-term goals. Break these objectives down into actionable steps using the SMART criteria. Then, confront your fears head-on and seek support from those around you. Finally, embrace failure as a necessary part of the journey towards success. Remember, the key to making tough decisions isn't to avoid fear entirely. It's to manage it effectively. By following Tim Ferriss' approach, you can transform your fear into a driving force that propels you forward. So, take a deep breath, gather your courage, and start making decisions that align with your dreams. The world needs your vision, and the only way to see it clearly is to confront your fears and set your sights on the horizon. Embrace the challenge, embrace the fear, and embrace the journey towards your dreams. Let's make a move, shall we?